guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I wanted to film a hopefully quick video about bags I have sold and why. And I really find these kind of videos very interesting to watch and very informative. I like to see what bags work out for people and which ones don't and why and so on and so forth. And I don't have a lot of bags. I've only been buying bags for a couple of years, and I did have a few bags that I sold, but they're not bags that are relevant. For example, I had a vintage Miu Miu, and then I had some other one I can't remember, and then I had two of the Marc Jacobs bags and the high-end Marc Jacobs line, you know, like the Stam bag and then this quilted bag. But again, I think the company went bankrupt, I'm not sure, and you can't get them anymore, so I don't find them relevant. So these are going to be bags that I have sold lately and that are still actually bags that you can buy and bags that you have actually seen on my channel. Well, actually, that's not true. I don't know, there's a couple that you probably didn't see. Anyway, I'm gonna get started. There's 7 bags in total, and I am going to go in. I made an album on my phone and I put all the pictures of the bags in there, and so I'm just gonna go in order and let's get started. Okay, so the first bag is the Louis, and these are not in order by the way, the Louboutin Speedy Bandolier 25 in monogram canvas. Here's a picture of it. Hope you can see that. If you can't see that on camera, I will insert a picture in the video somewhere, and if you can, then I won't. So the reason I sold this bag, I actually did an unboxing for this bag. I think it's my second video on my channel, and I wanted this bag for several years. Previously, I got the 30, which will come up in a moment, and it didn't work out for me because I wanted the 25 originally. I got it, and I didn't like it for nearly the same reasons that I didn't like the 30, and that is because I have a review video. I will link it below in case you're interested. The buckle and the long crossbody strap got tangled in my hair. I didn't feel comfortable using such a loud bag, and the interesting thing is, when I see other people with a monogram bag, I like it. I think it looks very pretty. It looks very like old school, kind of has this like charm to it for me. But when I carry it, I feel so just out there, which is funny because I will wear like the loudest, speaking of, I'm wearing like obnoxiously loud blazer jacket, but I feel fine with it. But when there's like logos, I don't feel comfortable. Even the Chanel logo for me is too big, so I never really purchased. This is my only monogram bag that I had because for that same reason I always preferred the demi-ébène. But yeah, I sold it. The size was fine. I also didn't like the hardware on it and the quality of it. It did fit a lot of things. The size was fine. The 25 is not too small, but it just didn't work out for me. And the kind of Speedy style Boston type of bags, they don't really work for me. They're not ones that I like to carry. Okay, so the next bag is the Louis Vuitton Saint-Germain PM in the Cerise, the red. I hope it's Cerise. I don't know. Let me know if you know. And I also did here's a picture of it. And I also did a unboxing and a review video of this bag. I think it possibly did what fits in the bag. And it is a very lovely bag. My mom actually has this bag now. She really likes it and she enjoys using it a lot. For me, what I didn't like about it is that I don't know if it's the one I got or if there was something faulty with the clasp or not, but it would keep popping open for me. And it has that, like the same kind of lock mechanism that the Pochette Métis has, and it just wouldn't stay locked in there. Anytime you like slightly hit the bag, or it would like bend against something, bang on something I mean, and it would pop open just on its own, and I didn't like that because it wasn't secure at all. And since it wasn't one continual piece of leather on the back side, the flap was attached to the top of the bag, it would just drape open like this, and anybody could be free to take whatever they wanted really, because you couldn't know. And I had so many times when my bag was just open, and it still does happen, but since my mom doesn't really use it out often, like she'll use it to go to church and she'll use it for like more kind of low-key events, not like, you know, going around all day in a crowded city kind of thing, then it works for her and she likes it and it's fine. Another thing that I really didn't like about it is that the weight proportion of the bag was really skewed. And it was a very, very lightweight, comfortable bag, but the moment you started putting in a couple things in there, it became so incredibly heavy and so uncomfortable to carry. And when it didn't have that many items in there, the chain was fine, and it was a very beautiful chain. It's actually one of the most beautiful chains I've probably seen in a bag. It looks like jewelry. It's stunning. It kind of reminds me of the, I mean, it's a different style, of course, but the way it glistens in the sun kind of looks like the Bulgari Serpentine bag. And it's a very, very beautiful, oops, turned it off, very beautiful bag, but it just, I mean, I don't drive a car anymore, and I have to carry my bag everywhere, and it keep popping open, and it was just bothering me. So that's why I don't have it anymore, and she does, and she really enjoys it. And I did receive several comments about going to Louis Vuitton to get it repaired or something, but my mom doesn't want to do that, so I mean, I'm not going to force her to do it. And so, I mean, if it ever bothers her, she can do it, but she doesn't want to, and that's why it's still fine. And she says that it hasn't been a problem for her. It did pop open a few times, but nothing's been, like, it's never been an issue, so she's totally cool with it. So one thing I did like about the bag is that it wasn't monogrammed all the way. Like, the monogramming on front leather wasn't embossed everywhere. It was just on the top flap, and I actually heard that as a complaint for several people. But anyway, this isn't why I like the bag. This is not a review. This is why I sold it. So that's that. The next bag is the Balenciaga City bag in the chev leather with the, I think it's aquamarine or turquoise. I always forget, but I'm pretty sure it's aquamarine. This is what it looks like. And this is from 2007 spring summer collection, and it is the last season that they had goatskin leather bags. Then the next season they switched over to lambskin. And the Balenciaga City bag, like, along with many people my age, was the dream bag, that the epitome, that was like the stylish it bag that everybody had. And it was like Nicole Richie, and it was the Olsen twins, and it was like literally everybody had the Balenciaga City bag. It was like the hottest bag, right? And being like 16, I couldn't afford Balenciaga bag. Like, what was it? Of course I couldn't afford it. And I was dreamed of it, and I dreamed of it. It was like my holy grail dream bag. I remember every time I would go to Nordstrom, I would swoon over it, and I would like drool over it, and I would just, oh, I loved it. So fast forward like many years later, I actually found the bag pre-owned for an insane price. I mean, literally, and it's authentic. I could authenticate older Balenciaga bags. I don't know about the current Balenciaga bags, but like the ones during like Nicolas Gisquet, like the Balenciaga bags that he made, like I can authenticate them. And so it is authentic, and I did have, after I sold it, I had it authenticated before I shipped it to the buyer, and it was, surprise, surprise, authentic. And the leather smells so good. It was a beautiful bag, right? And I loved it. I love the color. It was actually in my, I never made a video about the bag, but it was in my bag collection video for 2016. But I guess as I carried it and as time went on, I realized that it's not my style at all. And it's a beautiful bag. I love seeing it on other people. I actually see a lot of city bags here, and it's a very popular bag, and it's very lightweight. It's comfortable to carry. Excuse me. But it's just not my style, and it looks too sloppy, too casual, too drapey, too many things hanging. I don't know, it's too busy, I suppose. And it's a beautiful bag, and I love it, but it was just time to let go. And it was nice to have like my ultimate dream bag from when I was a teenager, and I've moved on from it, but it was very fun to have in the meantime. Next bag is the Balenciaga the Balenciaga First in the color Raisin, and this is from 2009 Fall Winter collection, and it is this like deep purple color, and this is in the lambskin. And again, okay, this lambskin is super soft. This is a very nice lambskin. I actually prefer the lambskin over the goatskin. I know there was like this whole big debacle thing going on when Balenciaga switched to the leathers, but the lambskin was very nice. I did actually prefer this one. The reason I sold this bag is because I actually got this one pre-owned as well before I got the City bag. And the City was always my dream bag. The size of it, I loved it. It was my dream bag, and so I got this one, and I also got this for a very good price. And I used it, I carried it, I loved it, and then I found the city bag and I bought it, and I never carried this one once again. So it was just a temporary filler. I mean, I used it for about a year actually, so it was nice, and it has a new home. So I have nothing really to say about the bag. I think the quality of the lambskin is actually better than the quality of the goatskin because, yeah, that's how I felt. The next bag is the Louboutin Speedy Bandolier 30 in the damier bag. Trying to remember, it's like such a mouthful. Here's a picture of it. And I got this bag. I don't know, I was trying to think when I got it, but that's not really relevant to the videos. So I bought the bag. I went into the boutique to get the 25 because I wanted the 25 for about a year and a half at that point. Oh, my hair's getting in my face. Excuse me. Okay, so I went to the boutique to buy the bag. Every single sales associate in there was like, no, you can't buy the 25. It's a huge mistake. You have to get the 30 because of blah, 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 blah. It's too small, it's inconvenient. You're going to use this bag for 30 years, and then when you're older, you're going to regret getting the smaller one because it looks cute now, but it's going to look ridiculous when you're older, blah, 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 which is funny because fast forward like 3 years later, everybody's buying the 25 and it's like this big trendy bag right now. And so I went and got the 30, excuse me, and I didn't like it. It was way too big. It looked ridiculous on me because I carry like 5 things with me and they're not even big things. And so what happened with that bag, it would just sploosh down and it would sag, and it looked just like I was carrying an empty bag because basically that's what it was. And since it's that like keep all Boston carry all kind of duffel, it's like a duffel bag, there you go, it's like a duffel bag shape. It was huge inside and it was not very practical for me at all. It was very lightweight. I didn't enjoy using it because again the buckle of the strap got tangled in my hair, and I also find with damier Ben that the coated canvas, the coated leather is very, very stiff and uncomfortable to wear on your shoulder. It really digs in, and it catches with my hair on top of the buckle and it slides down and like pulling my hair out. So not very fun. And since it wasn't even what I wanted in the first place, I sold it. And then I sold it and I bought the 25, and I got the monogram because I wanted the vachetta leather because it was softer. And I love the way it patinas and ages and things like that, but I'm just not a monogram person, so that's that. The next bag is the Louis Vuitton Neverfull MM in the damier Ben. And this is actually my very first designer bag that I bought. Yeah, just trying to make sure. Yeah, this is the very first designer bag that I bought. And I bought this when I was in college. And I was like, my rationale, and this was like back when I actually spent $850 on this bag, which is crazy because now they're like, what, $1,400? I don't know, $1,300? I don't know the price of them now, but a lot much more. And my rationale was that, well, I'm going to be going to school for 2.5 more years, and I'm going to need to carry books and binders and blah, 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 laptops, and I need a good bag to carry it all. So since I didn't like monogram, I decided to go for the damier Ben because it was more discreet, it was pretty. I like the red inside. I really love red, and so I bought it. It was very exciting for me. I mean, as anyone who bought their very first designer bag knows, it's just like it's like this big step in your life, right? And so I used it, and as I used it, I realized that it really, really pisses me off. For lack of a better term, it just really made me angry because the straps on the bag are really thin, and again, like, it has the coated leather, and they're very, very stiff and they're hard. And so what would happen is that when I would put it on my shoulder, and I don't know if this is my shoulders, I don't know if I have like weirdly shaped shoulders where bags slide off, but I have a problem with bags sliding off my shoulders. So it happens with a lot of different bags actually. And so I would put them on, and it would get, since there was 2 thin ones, it would get like all tangled with my hair, and since I have a lot of hair, it would just get everywhere, and then it would just whoop, slide off and like pull chunks of my hair out. It was incredibly painful. And just like, you know, you're carrying your bag, walking around, la-di-da, living life, grocery shopping, doing whatever, and you just get yanked by your hair every like 10 minutes. So I sold the bag and never looked back. I was a little sentimental at first. I was like, I don't know if I should sell it. It's my first bag, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to use it one more time. I used it for like 3 hours. I was so mad at it. I sold it, never looked back. And I did hear that the Damier Azur and the monogram, like the ones, the vachetta leather, it's much more comfortable and pliable and softer. And people who do have the vachetta leather and the treated leather for the Neverfull say that the vachetta leather is significantly more comfortable. And maybe that's just a mistake I made, but I don't really, to be honest, need a tote bag. So I sold it. Last bag, we're down to it. The last bag I actually did a video on as well. And this is like probably my shortest lived bag. I had this bag for like 2 weeks. We got rid of it. And this is the, excuse me, I was just sick. The Chanel Classic Flap Small Lambskin Gold Leather Vintage. I think I got it all out. I do have a video on it. I will link it below as well in case you're interested. And this is the small size, so it's 1 inch shorter in length than the medium large. So it's 9 inches, it's 9.1 inches, and the medium large is 10.4, if I'm not mistaken, or 10. I think it's 10 actually. So one of the two. Got lambskin. It was from 97 or 98 or 95. It was one of the like mid 90s, let's just say. And I got this bag because I had the walk and I love the walk. I was like, okay, I want the classic flap. I want lambskin because I love lambskin. I don't know what possessed me to buy caviar for my walk, but something did, and that's what I purchased. And I mean, I love lambskin. It's like my favorite leather. And so I used the bag probably 3 times, and it was so incredibly uncomfortable and pointless because it didn't hold anymore. I have a comparison video as well. I can link that below. I will link that below, of the walk with the small flap, and the amount of things that the small flap can hold is just ridiculous because it's mostly what can be held in the walk, and it is significantly of a heavier bag. It dug into my shoulders. It was very uncomfortable. It was actually a very heavy bag to carry, and I didn't enjoy using it whatsoever. It was bulky. It looked really square and boxy, and that's why I don't want to purchase a classic flap, is because I didn't like the look of the bag on me. And yeah, the leather was beautiful. It was the gold-plated hardware, which I really like, but it's just the style and size and the look of the bag just didn't work out for me, and I sold it. So those are all my bags, and I hope this was helpful and useful, and I contributed to the videos that I like to watch. So let me know which bags you have had and you sold or you didn't sell, and like why you didn't like them, because I love hearing about what bags people didn't enjoy using and that they either got rid of or they're just like in their closet shoved somewhere. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.